So I think we are live, huh?
I hope so. You can check.
Can you guys hear us?
Also wir sind zumindest schon mal, we are
Yeah.
in the picture. English only from now on.
Okay, let's just assume that we are live, huh?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So we will see the quarterfinals of the Vlissingen Blitz Masters.
I guess we can mute this.
Yeah, this. I can just maybe turn off the sound here. Okay, they already started. I hope everybody can hear us. Quarter for Belgium. So it's a 9-point match. Do you know anything about the players, Rainer?
To be honest, I know nothing about Alf. I know Mark. I met him several times in Aachen. He's really a nice guy and a gentleman type of player. I really like him. And yeah, let's see what they can manage. And we get here 2 matches for the price of 1, I see. So people can also watch in the small screen the match on the board.
Yeah, are you also intending to commentate on that?
It's a little bit, my eyes are not good enough, so let's focus on it.
Let's focus. So now we have a double 3, so Mark can make the bar anchor for sure. The 10. I think I like the bar anchor better. It's more flexible. Now white only has 1 spare left to play with on the midpoint, so
okay.
I think I would have done the other.
And what about the idea that the black can do more with his stack on the 6 point if you go to the bar?
Yeah, I have not a high level of confidence. Maybe it looks like the normal move to make the 10, and it's the best move. So my move, I would have made a mistake here, probably.
Okay.
Interesting. So he found the correct play. Very good.
Well done, Mark.
And now, yeah, it's a mutual holding game, and when the pip count is close in a mutual holding game, usually you just play safe. I mean, it's just not enough to gain from playing risky, from taking some risks.
It looks ugly, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think Alf knows.
So players, they start out really slow here. We have 3 moves and already 1 minute gone. This is just an overplay because
it's one of the situations where a beginner most likely would have gotten it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, only an expert player, experienced player sees that there is something to think about.
Yeah.
And that can lead us astray sometimes. All these quote unquote creative moves, they're just sometimes a bit too creative. So this is normal attack on the 4, and now Mark will just safety the checker to the mid.
You can hit on 3.
Yeah, but white is ahead in the race. No, this is just again an overplay. I mean, he's looking at it, but he's ahead in the race. He should just go for the race. This is not a blitzing position. Yeah, let's see what he does. Just game plan wise. So,
yeah.
Okay.
You have played it, but why is it really bad? Because you have 10 checkers in the zone. You could argue you have potential.
Any risk with being a solid favorite. So
and cube in the middle, you want to get to a double first.
Yeah, and you usually you give up the 8 point in order to hit loose on the 3 only in emergency cases, because the 8 point actually is more valuable. Now he has to follow through. Now he has to hit again. No other way. Yeah. Okay, now he wants to get this structure back, but this gives black too many options. And black, should he just hit here with not that many checkers in the zone?
Wow.
I mean, two anchors, that doesn't. No, I don't. Is that really the play? Yeah, just hit, right? So machine wanted to hit, I think.
I did not look at the XG.
It felt
Yeah.
natural. Yeah, not a big deal, but slightly better to hit. So 2-1, yeah. Now white is still ahead in the race. So just play safe, yeah. Not nice. I mean, he shouldn't have broken the 8-point in the first place.
It's still a little bit like mutual holding game, even though there are two anchors. And then play
So-
safe if you're ahead.
So this is just a good idea if your opponent is not happy to hit you from his anchor.
All that.
Yeah, we saw it already. Yeah, we saw it. And again, yeah, black is happy to hit and get freedom with the back checkers because of the 10-point. I mean, that was probably also one of the reasons why black shouldn't have made the 4 anchor in the first place. The 4 anchor is blocked by the 10-point. So now you have the perfect opportunity to get rid of. Kind of have a completely different understanding of this position than we do.
Than you do. I have to admit, I think I would have made some errors here as well.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I would have made in the beginning. I would have made a mistake, but and now I would have made the 5-point. I think because we're down in the race. Yeah, and then we have to play purely. Yeah, not a good start when I look at the PRs.
Yeah, but it was not.
Okay, that plays itself.
Yeah.
No decision.
Don't waste your time, bank.
On this one. Okay, 1 second wasted.
Yeah, it was more than 1 second.
Okay. I'm glad I have you to pay attention to these very important details. So now just play 18-13. No, this is actually doesn't. Oh, actually does like it. I would play 18-13. But black is also stripped. Black is also stripped, so you want to have a stronger board. Is that the reason? So black has to move something. So you want to be as strong as possible? Probably.
Yeah, seems so.
And also white is now down in the race. So I was still focused on the racing moves. Yeah. Yeah, very good play. I can only see an ace.
Wow.
What? He's thinking he cannot move at all. So that is a clear indicator he's nervous. If he doesn't see, so he's probably a bit nervous. 6-5, slotting the better point, clear. And my first idea, 18-11. Sure.
The alternative is
that is releasing the pressure from the 4 anchor. I mean, it's really nice to have that one blocked.
Raise it too close.
10-point is an asset here. Well done. And 4-1, the Joker. A Joker, but still not really nothing to be happy about. Yeah, he has to hit.
Should be happy about it.
Yeah. I mean, the position. I mean, it's nothing great because. And here you can also see the problem of having all. I mean, he can clear the 4, run with the 4, and still. I would probably have a take, so long way to go. Yeah.
Bring in 14-8. No, that's
14-8 is.
And then you play 18-16. You're one.
You are not so unhappy, I guess, to have the checker on the 18 because you really want to get off that 4 point, and then you can improve your anchor to the 18. At least I don't know, but it's certainly one builder and one fewer blot. Yeah, very good play if he does it. Difficult to find, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, another dance. And certainly,
yeah, it's still good structure in front of our anchor. So
black can still do so many things, and white still has an easy take. So hopefully it doesn't cube that.
Double 5 and he enters. Is in the pass.
So 6-1. That's again only the 8.
It's repeating itself here.
Yeah, probably shouldn't slot. That's an overplay, I would say. Yeah. It's not great. I can tell you that.
Does this bring us to a cube?
I mean, he cannot play the 4 from his home board. He cannot play it from the mid because that's. I think it's still
too early, yeah, because.
Okay, he will cube. He's giving a 2 cube. Okay, it's already a double. Yeah, it's a borderline. Interesting. It's what I call a relatively low equity but high volatility cube. So his equity is not great, then he's not even at 60% winning chances. However, if he hits something and white dances, that could easily lose him his market. And you also should pay attention to black's numbers because 4s and aces hit on the ace point and 3s and 6s hit the other checker. So except maybe for double 5s, he will be always able to hit something. And then if the opponent dances, then that's might be a market loss. And there's the additional factor, of course, the opponent might hallucinate and pass. It's just structurally too good to pass with a bar point. And now we have an exciting game, 6-1 this time. It's a good number, and finally it's playable.
Yeah.
And he should hit the other checker.
Yeah.
And yeah, now white could be in trouble. No, that hit was crucial.
Oh, this is a real interesting game, maybe.
His anchor that is not blocked and just clean up a bit. I would have played 15-30, but doesn't matter really. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Really? 18-13. Yeah, that's tough find. It's a 6-1. Just does too much, according to the machine, of course. Does too much long-term damage. And this is also a nice idea. Gives more numbers, but keeps the checkers on the 24 with a safe landing spot on the bar point. So
as long as
find themselves in a difficult game. So now we can probably continue with the checker. It's a builder for the 3-point. That would be the natural play, I would call it.
I would not leave the anchor.
No, not yet. It's a good
13-10. What's the advantage?
Yeah,
except
12-9
looks boring, but it's
just 3-5 it is. So now 8-3
no.
puts a checker behind the action.
Oh no!
Now black has a juicy target on the 3-point.
Yeah, and it's such a long game. You have to play pure as
that is down in the pip count by so much has to play pure. So this is yeah. I mean, it's the only move here. What I'm already keeping an eye on is when will they speed up, because Mark already has spent a third of his total time, and the score is still 0-0. But at some point,
so latest after this game is over, you have to check the clock and then realize you have to speed up, and because if you're in trouble at the end, mistakes.
4-2 again, not great. Just play the checker inside. Yeah.
As he both to play, yeah, why not to the 9?
Yeah.
9, just to the 9. Okay. Oh, 59 would have been my play, but XG changed his mind. Plus.
So what was it my play? 11-5 was that correct?
Yeah. And 59 was XG's first.
Uglier by the minute, but what can you do now?
Now it's
basically your winning chances are really small, and your main goal is here to minimize your gammon losses for one, but also not a damaging shot by any means. So he can duplicate 4s, but he can also just. You want to have the checkers. Yeah, this is the normal play, but this is just duplication for duplication's sake, basically.
And you duplicate when getting hit is really bad.
There are no super jokers, which is your main concern when you are winning like this. Yeah, just bring your checkers around, play an ace-point game, don't kill anything. I mean, what's your plan if you give up the 6? I mean, that's.
Yeah, you may have to leave shots now. If you play to the 8, you have made a big step forward to saving the gammon, no?
Absolutely. I mean, your main goal remains to simply not lose the gammon. And here, but he won't play this. But he's still
thinking about winning. Maybe that's what leads him astray. So.
Yeah, safety that checker. Maybe he can roll a 6 and pop out, or maybe black will get stuck. Yes, but again, 1 minute on this play.
Disaster starts with 4-4. The preparation for disaster.
5-3. Just all the way, maybe.
Or you roll 4-4.
But on the other hand, you should avoid the super jokers. If you go to the 16 and to the 8. What that does is there is no. I mean, if you go to the mid and white rolls double 6s, then you are losing all of a sudden. So according to
XG says 16 and 8. Okay.
When you're such a big favorite, then you should pay attention to the super jokers of the opponent. But this is also super nice contact. Now he has more hitters. I don't know what was the exact reason for black's play to be correct before, but probably a combination of both. Now he leaves a shot. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe just minimize and 11 and.
Yeah, my tendency would be to hide one blot
again. And you play to the 3 instead of to the 4. Is this really more flexible? I would just
I mean, over the board, the thing that I know for sure that even if you give me 10 minutes, I wouldn't be able to figure out the best play because they seem to me know your limits.
Are you really more flexible?
I couldn't figure it out, so sometimes, and I know the difference must be very small, so I certainly wouldn't try not to.
His play was 9-5, not hiding the plot, if I saw it correctly.
Yeah, with 3 blots, but I wouldn't have done that.
No.
Okay, now he can go forward. That's risky. I mean, that is the DMP play. So that is incredibly hard to. He also wins more games, so very difficult for a human player to find the right.
I would go for it.
Yeah. I'm afraid I probably would do as well. But here it's a mistake, it seems. Positioned slightly, and then Mark's play that he's on the board right now would be correct. So really, who knows? He's trying to figure it out, of course, and he goes for it. Okay, so this is a big swing roll now. Roll is coming up.
Yeah. At least the twos are duplicated afterwards.
So we could get a gammon here. 6-3 is really terrible because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's basically 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
and then you see that there's no other three.
Other 3, and then you don't
Waste
any time.
Bank.
And now the 5s and deuces are also completely duplicated. Yes, double aces, so we'll get an exciting match game still. Yeah, make the deuce. And yeah, maybe even
another blot.
Okay, now what is this? I think this has to be a 4 cube for sure. Well, no, it could be too good. I mean, 6s run out. I mean, this can't be a take, right? I mean, with 2 checkers on the roof and so many, white can make a prime, and even if black enters on the ace point, the black will crunch. So very hard to win, but is it too good? I doubt. I mean, I don't know.
But could be, yeah.
Okay, it says redouble pass, but it might be too good. But
yeah, it's close. Yeah.
I mean, there's some danger. Black could roll double aces, double 4s. Yeah, this is. I think I would just play like this. Yeah.
But then it was a question: was 8-7 with the last ace correct? If you have a double, strong double, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe
because they're giving double 4, and
yeah, maybe it was an overplay. But it's probably better.
The transcriber is obviously listening to our comments,
which is great.
7, yeah. Okay, well done, Mark.
Okay, well, so he thought it was too good, and insta pass. Okay, interesting. So machine says it's a small take, but I would have been completely at a loss here.
Yeah.
So good start for Mark. The only bad news, he already spent more than half of his time.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And the score is 2-0. So, but for the spectators later on, we may be in for an exciting ride when panic sets in. But still a long way to go. So standard opening here. That's a hit. And right now, our screen is frozen. So is it our internet? Now we can see something. I suspect it's the stream. But if you don't hear anything from us, then it's because we don't see anything.
But we are fine now. We see again.
Yeah. Right now we are fine. Yeah, it was just frozen for us. So maybe even make the 4 here. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to, because making the 4 keeps the 8, which is actually quite nice. Yeah, but it's a small difference. E2-1. Does he still have his entire role to play? I would have split here probably. Yeah. As long as there's still a blood on the 8. Oh no, you slot even. Wow.
That is cool. Yeah.
6-3. It's a hit. So after dance, that would be game over, I guess. Ace 5 is probably also very. This is a very strong double for sure. So
there's a hit, but he will double anyway.
Yeah, you hit on the ace and hope your opponent just rolls, which is probably not going to happen here.
too good to. No, I don't think so.
Okay, clear cube, and with 3 checkers on the ace, I think
That's not much fun.
I don't like it
On
too
the
much.
lead.
I think it's just with a 2-0 lead, you don't get too good recubes, and you can see, yeah. And 5, of course.
Other home board points made you make the 2-point.
Mm-hmm.
But the priming value is too strong, so you have to run.
And also your racing equity is better because 6-4, 3-1 wasn't a very high number. Yeah. So here you split to the bar and play 39. Nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess black has to hit and come
and
14-11.
Yeah. Yep. Can't play safe anyway, so it looks very constructive.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the alternative? So, yeah, that's sometimes the question. Or maybe he just wants to make sure that he doesn't overlook anything.
Yeah.
So I think we need to split these back checkers. Would be my
make the bar
and make the bar point probably. Do we need to split the back checkers? These deals.
I would like to split because
for now, at least you give your opponent some bad numbers, but yeah.
Okay, XG says splitting is an error. Okay.
Okay, this is the variation without the bar point.
I did not like.
Okay, then we have this scenario: double fives hits 2 checkers, and so now if white doesn't roll a joker, the cube will be coming, or a good number at least.
Yeah, but if you dance with
both, it's too good. Both, it's too good. 4-1 is certainly a cube. White is that compared to the opening double fives.
This can be a checker.
Yeah, it's 2 more checkers in the zone and 1 checker escaped.
That's very strong.
Yeah, I mean the winning percentage is there. I hate to drop these.
So we should speak louder.
Louder. I have the microphone on max, so I can make it louder.
And maybe on OBS we can pull up our volume a little bit.
Yeah. From our side, I have the microphone at max. Now volume, I could increase it by 1 point. Yeah. So okay. So good. So what happened here? We see an anchor, 6-2 hits.
That's it.
And we hit on the 9, I would say. Yeah, hit it. You don't make the second anchor and just settle for a double anchor holding game here. Just hit on the 9. Okay. 5-1. I guess enter on the ace and play 15-10. Be my first idea and also probably my last, or maybe 13-8, because actually now I like 13-8 better with the 5. Because the midpoint stripped and it's a bit better for the distribution. 13-8. So first idea wouldn't have been my last idea attack. I mean, you can see now when you look at the numbers: aces, 3s, 4s attack, deuces hit in the outfield. So we have, again, we can say right from the start there should be lots of double hits and pointing numbers. So this is probably quite bad. So now that's one of the double hits. Or white to do that?
Yeah, you would do that, move that, go into that risk, then you are in panic that you get primed. And this was really
that would have been
against a 1-point board with just a bill on the 9. It was panic.
Yeah,
panicking in fear of getting primed.
When there
It was not.
now, I guess white just has to continue hitting 8 to 5.
8 to 5, making.
Yeah, and
another
interesting game, and it could be a long game and a time-consuming game.
And then it's 3-2 after another 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so you hit and maybe just step out. Yeah, just step out. So then you don't want to get attacked on the 2016. Actually agrees. By the way, shall I adjust the camera so that everybody can see your Anki shirt?
No, that's fine.
That's fine, yeah. Three, yeah. Second anchor is clear, and maybe even yeah. But what can happen? I mean, you have two anchors. So now, and there's not much merit anymore to hit, but it's still. What else?
Yeah, you don't want to go to the mid. That's what you don't want.
Because you want to enter on the 22. So then, why not hit?
No, I have some chances to make an outfield point, maybe.
So now we make the third anchor, maybe, and play 8 to 4. Is that the right idea? I mean, 8 to 4, how bad can it be? And
you can also be just 2016, no?
Yeah, but then for now,
was quite nice. I may have thought.
Yeah, it's really just too complicated of a position. I think that's can't be that bad. 8-4 was a slight mistake, but who knows in this position, these positions.
Mine was even worse. It was not on the list.
Not on the list. Maybe you just have to make the rollout and then it come out on top.
Yeah, there's always some hope.
Yeah, Black is not super excited about making the 11 point because that point is hard to clear, but for now. So now 8 to 3, just okay. Okay, that's also good. 8 to 3 is also why would you hit here? I mean, in that sense, he's right. So Black finally gets some structure. Maybe even 11 to 9. I'm hitting that other checker. What does that do? Nothing much, I would say. Cool. And this is, even though Black is a favorite, this can't be a cube because the volatility is close to 0, meaning the position won't change very much over the course of the next sequence. So then if your opponent has a take now, if you double, he will have also a take after the next sequence. So there's basically no reason to double because you're not having any market losers.
Somehow, for me, the double felt worse than a 100 millicoin error.
What about 6 to 2? I would have played 6 to 2 to recirculate that checker. So also, I don't want to give him the 20. Okay, 6 to 2 was also a mistake. This is so hard because of course you have to be afraid that then if you give up the 5 point that you will never make it again. So I also don't quite see the reason why you hit at this stage. So it's just too complicated.
Yeah, you can't win forward from here. So now
I mean you can, but still Yeah, maybe it's correct. I mean, I'm at a loss, but it feels strange to. I mean, for black, you are so happy that you have a target now, and now there's some volatility. But even if black makes the 5 point, I guess white still has chances. So probably not a cube. And black danced. Sometimes it's really choppy. The video I didn't see the black dance. So okay. Why not hit the second checker? But yeah, here we are in territory where it's so hard. So machine would have made the remade the 20 and hits the second checker, because hitting the first checker meant you want to win this forward. Okay, but then the opponent dance. Then if you want to win this forward, you also got to hit the second checker, right?
Yeah.
Logic wise.
Sounds logical.
This is not about what is the right play, but that would have been consistent with the play before, no matter what was right. So now we are back to back game, I would say, with after the 5-4, and just go to the 16. Yeah.
How good do you think is XG in this type of positions?
Cannot really judge it. I know that usually in these back games with many points, by the way, again, for the same reason, no cube, no volatility, in these positions, you can do some analysis about that, but how well in the end XG plays this, no idea. This looks still fairly normal. So I hope, I mean, it has lots of aspects of a holding game, which XG knows how to play. So I would say it should play it pretty well.
Okay.
But at this stage, but I'm not sure. Yeah, hit the checker and then slot. You hit the checker because you want to protect your slot. That's a great idea, a great play. But his play is also nice. So he realizes he needs, now that white is on the bar, he really needs to fight for the 5 point. That would give him a very strong position. This is the wrong idea. Because the 11 point in itself is valuable, and black wants to get that checker on the 6 into play, so 6-5 was the play of choice. So now he cannot do anything, because it's also complicated.
Like the 11 and the 10.
11 and the 10, yeah, and like that he has all these builders for the 5. So both players are down now to 6 minutes. 5-2, so we want to recirculate the checker. So okay, he goes to the 5. And black is again thinking about cubing here. Again, no cube for the same reasons. So this is an improvement. So now after white rolls, depending upon white's roll, then black can think about the cube. But I still think it's too early. I mean, making a 5 was a big step. I think not enough. I mean, I would take in a heartbeat as white here. Yeah, still in the same region of no double. But of course, I mean, with each time he thinks about it, it gets more likely because you see, it's itching him to cube, and at some point he probably will just cube it, in my experience. So now we are trying to clear points so we can. 14-11. Is that the XG play? XG wants to hit on the. Interesting. So XG wants to get these checkers into play and recirculate them. Yeah. But for me, that would be a bit too rich to be honest. So I would have 16, 11, 13, 10. I don't want to have my checkers stacked like this because that should leave more bad numbers later. So okay, 13, 10 is the most afraid of getting hit.
Yeah.
Leering the 10 is also 10 point doesn't do much. So again, so many choices.
11 and 6-5 would be mine. I think 10 is just too stiff, I think. For
10 is again, I mean, the play. Yeah, you play. You did it.
Oh, it was super close.
Yeah, but still, you had the right idea. So maybe even going to the 14 with the two checkers because you don't want to waste checkers. You have to move your checkers at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So 18, 14. Yeah, but still. But maybe now he got to the point where he says, I'm sick and tired of thinking about cubing. I'm going to do it. No, he stays disciplined. Does not flexible enough. Now he has to leave some shots, clear the points. That's it. White still has no board. This is again too stiff and too stacked.
Just two down. Huh? Yeah.
But machine says it's all doesn't matter. So now white will have to cover. And again, maybe even 18-14. Who knows?
No, but
10 to 6 is the more normal. But actually, the DMP play, I see. Okay. And again, double threes. That is not playable anymore. So he has to play like 4-1 or 1-3. Yeah. And where's the last?
No,
yeah. That is cute. That is cute. Yeah. No.
Nice try.
Yeah. So now we realize 1-3 will have to be 4-1. So that makes it actually easier. If we have to play 4-1 with 1-3, then we also have to play 4-1 with the other 3.
Most likely.
And then we can just think about the rest. So I would play the 4-1 threes first.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be forced. But yeah. So super hard again. Now who's the favorite? Probably, maybe white is already the favorite. So we enter where do we enter on the 21? Yeah, but that invites him to attack us. We don't want to play to the deuce point. That's, I think, the issue because we need our checkers to make the 3. When you have so many back checkers, just don't put your checkers on the deep points. No, that's bad. That's when you have such a nice back game. No. No, I mean it's also much more exciting if he keeps the checkers on the back points. Yeah, enter on the 2 or on the 4. But 4-2 is just a 2 point is a place where the checker doesn't belong. So, but it's again super hard to find the play here. They really found themselves some difficult games.
Absolutely. And it's still interesting to see when they will start speeding up and panicking.
Don't expect it. Yeah, okay, now he is. But that kills black 6s. So, yeah, and punished. In hindsight, it's always easy. And with the XG analysis,
Clearing the 10, is this a move?
Yeah, I mean that's problem. 13-5. No, it's not a move because because the 6s. I mean the 10 point is actually quite harmless because the 6s are blocked. You don't need to move them. So We are still in the same spot actually. So 4 and the 3 is forced. Now you slot the 3 for sure, because that's the place where you want that checker to be.
Yeah. Absolute must.
I mean, for sure, you should never say, but yeah, that's the natural play at least. So now you have market loser. So now I still think it's tough to cube. And again, his winning chances. I mean, that is what I mean by low volatility. Now for like 20 moves or something, his winning chances were hovering around 53, 55, never really any change. And that is the characteristics of extremely low volatility.
Oh, nice take by Mark.
Yeah, nice take. Yeah, take was obvious. So 4-2 is almost forced. The 2 again is forced. So play the 2 first. The 2 is forced, and then the 4 plays itself.
Yep.
So Martin Alf seems to be not the most experienced players, because he doesn't see these forced immediately. So it's probably not, hasn't played that many tournaments, I would say, from the moving technique, at least in live play. Maybe online he played already a lot, but that's only a guess from the way he plays these forced numbers, or the way he structures his decisions, maybe better said. So this is a hit. Now we have to be more careful as white, because we don't have 2 anchors anymore. So the lift is clear. And yeah, you hit and slot the 4. What else? Yeah, you have to do it and hope for the best.
Yep.
Important roll here. Oh, that's a joker. So now you hit and
hit again.
That's with, yeah, I mean, that's natural play, right? You hit again. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You have natural plays to it. You still have, white still has some work to do here. Cannot just now on the 3 and hit on the 4 again. White under pressure. So still very interesting game. 2-1 is a dance. So black could win a gammon here, but also lose. I mean, it's still a long way for black to get everything done. So now that's the big swing roll. Now another dance should be fatal here for white. And that's another dance. Now it's ace is good. 3, and you make the ace. Yeah, and now the last exit for white. Enter, no 3.
If he doesn't draw double 3.
3-4 is not great, because it leaves some shots still. So we have still double 3s, 7 numbers that hit. And that's probably a gammon. Even, yeah. Okay, you hit. And yeah, that gives double 3s needlessly, I would say, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you should guard against the super jokers when you're such a big favorite. 5-1, so now 13-8, and then there are no super jokers. Yes, well done. A very difficult game. No wonder that their PRs went up. Do we need to make the 8-point? That gives us bad 5s. I think that was too quick.
Yeah.
I don't like the 8-point, the remade 8-point. Now the 5s have to be played from the 6. So that was bad technique, I would say. Yeah, 6-5. You want to unstack the 6-point, prepare the 6-point to be cleared in these situations. Very well.
Yeah, what was the alternative?
Yeah, there was no legal alternative anyway. Yeah, thank you, Rainer. But still very well. Yeah, there was no alternative. Thank you. 3-4, one checker in, at least. Probably no backgammon.
Clear the 6, and then you are almost home.
Yeah. That was a cruel game for Mark because he had almost turned it around.
Yeah. At least we see maybe 4 points for either sides, most likely for black, and that should relieve a little bit of the time pressure, but still, after only 2 minutes, it's still hard. And
yeah. And Mark?
It's not much more.
4 minutes. Okay. 4 minutes is manageable. And why is he spending time on this decision? That is really beyond me.
Yeah, time management is a really serious thing to consider.
Yeah, but maybe I put too much emphasis on it. But
no, you put emphasis on it for a good reason. Because
I'm getting always stressed when I'm low on time. So maybe these guys are just used to it and they are cool about it and play well. But I feel always stressed, and I want to enjoy my game and not be stressed.
Yeah.
So now running against the BG, and that now we can basically start a new game, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 6-2, 3 away, 7 away, interesting score.
So let's see if we see some aggressive doubles by Mark, or double, an aggressive double, if you get the chance.
Oh, no, they're continuing. I was just wondering whether they take a break. So 5-4. I'm glad that it seems like in the stream itself, the quality is good. We sometimes have it a bit.
The stream looks very fine.
It's a bit hard to see the dice.
Good start.
6-4.
Let's go with anchor.
Anchor for sure, and bring a checker down. Yeah. So that should be no cue for a long time.
Yeah. All the fun is out.
Maybe just do the splitting when the opponent has made the anchor. No, a 6-2 is, yeah, but the big split.
A split is too small.
A split doesn't have, yeah, big split would have been correct. And we play 13-8 for lack of alternatives, I would say.
Oh, it's a good type of position for black. This match score.
Okay, make the 9 and out to the 16 is my first idea. Yeah, he sees it and he's probably going to play it. What else? Yeah, everybody agrees, including the machine. Well done. 5-1 is not nice. 6-1, 8-7. Again, my first and my last idea here. He plays it quickly. Probably has noticed also that he has to speed up a bit. 1, 2. Now it starts getting interesting. Yeah, probably. You want to keep the midpoint as a communication.
The 2 point, yeah, the 2 point is
the alternative. 2 point, yeah, but then you have 2 blots in your home board. It's also not that great. Certainly, you want to keep the midpoint as a communication link for your backpacker. And now you play with a triple blot, or you make the 2 point. Maybe you make the 2 point, I guess. Triple blot is just gives the opponent just too much. freedom to slot, to move, do anything. Yeah, I would make it. I mean, okay, here we see the verdict.
Yeah, but I've seen this very often that you give a blot here, even though you think you shouldn't do because you have only one back trigger.
Yeah.
But I saw it so often that if
Yeah,
you
and
have
this
it,
score really
make it
black
more
is very
constructive, maybe.
hesitant to leave the anchor.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Black could also just run around the corner. Okay, that's the blitz quickly played, but you one would have to check the race.
So now you play on for the governor, I guess.
Okay, he cubes, so that's really interesting because that's one of these cubes. Okay, my rule of thumb for 3 away, 7 away is if you think you win 25% of games of the games or more, you always have a take at the score. So that's so basically I try to in these blitzy positions where I get cubed, I'm 7 away against 3 away. That's what I break it down to because all my reference positions almost indicate when I have more than 25% wins, I take. So here it's almost 25 and it's a small pass. So now
Very
this
nice double barrel.
yeah, and also very quick double. So probably has experience with time trouble. All of a sudden he just changes gears and boom, he steps on the gas. And what Mark is thinking, is there a recube? Is there a market loser? I mean, it's never, I mean,
No.
double fives is a market loss. So double sixes, no. So this could be over quickly. And all of our time trouble discussion completely in vain.
We had so much hope for some high-speed action.
Yeah, but then what do you say? So it's also hard to commentate. Yeah, you just watch the movie.
we could
I really hope
send our best wishes to our president, Jürgen Schettler, who is celebrating his birthday today.
Okay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jürgen. And belated happy birthday to Paulus, I think he had on Friday.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So
yeah, he said that we will celebrate his birthday of this tournament.
Okay.
It's not today, so
happy birthday.
Birthday, Paulus and Jürgen.
So now we really need double fives so that we get any interesting stuff still going on. And he needs to roll it quickly. And not it. Wrong 10.
This was really a strong double. I think I might mistake.
Yeah, no, I would have probably been torn between fourth and back between. Is it maybe too good or maybe not good enough?
Not too good, but I fear that I would have rolled on.
And I actually like Mark's take, even though it was a small mistake. At least that shows.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, he knows how to treat the score. So, what are his chances of escaping the gammon here? Maybe like 10% or something. So we were talking as if it was over. So maybe it's a 10% chance. Now his chances have gone up. Saving the gammon at least.
Double sixes. We don't see it.
We don't see it, but maybe we see on the stream we also don't see it. So
yeah, a few seconds behind.
5-2.
Okay. Shot time coming soon.
5-2 actually was quite a good number. So now it's only 6 numbers that leave a shot, and
6 is a lot.
No, 6 is not enough. So white enters here with a big doublet, then there's still gammon saving potential, but no. Okay. Okay, now.
So, don't waste time.
But very interesting games we saw, especially that back game, and certainly not the games that you want in a PR competition, like in a BMAB. So, I mean, they didn't play that well, but it's perfectly understandable with the kind of games they had to face.
Yeah, I really liked Alf's double here at
Yeah, that was
7 right?
that was great.
really,
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
So now, okay, now he can take a lot of time because probably his last decision. So again, the only thing that I know about this position, what you do, actually doesn't really matter. So
Yeah, but
I would play to the 9.
I don't agree that you use all your time because
Yeah.
you
Then you say,
and then you.
yeah. It is one of the spots where probably thinking hard doesn't gain you much.
No.
So.
Then just save the time in case you somehow manage to save the cannon, and then some time left.
I mean, the natural play would be 20 to 9. But yeah, okay, that should be also fine. Now he probably was looking at specific doublets and how they play. So that's a doublet, and that basically seals it.
That seals it. Have too many crossovers.
Too many crossovers. Shake hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Alf.
Congrats, Alf. Congrats, Mark, for getting to the quarterfinals. It's not what you expect at the beginning of a tournament, or most of us can.
Yeah, but now you are really disappointed
now,
because you end up with nothing probably. I don't know how the price usually is. Yeah, and thank you all for watching.
Yeah,
and I don't know who will be your next commentator, but certainly very strong.
Highlight is coming up. I think Oliver
Squire is the final, so stay tuned. I guess they will continue soon. So
we continue our backgammon practice.
Yeah, the Dienstlagen backgammon practice session.
Okay.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Everybody, if you can still hear us. Bye-bye.
I don't know if I'm live. I might be live. Am I? So we have. You're live. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, chap. Okay. Hello. Welcome. This is the Vlissingen Blitz Masters semi-final between Peter Van Rooij and Alf Martin. Masters. Alf, I'm not so familiar with. I haven't come across his name before. But he did play a 6 PR in the previous match, so we'll see if that is the norm. It's an 11-point match, 66 players, so it's probably in the region of like €1,500. So yeah, certainly the time where you need to really focus and not think too much about the fact that you're so close to reaching the final. I think it's quite a tiring format. Yesterday they will have played 5 9-pointers, even some matches at like 10:30 in the evening. So quite intense. So let's see. So this is quite nice. Just make the 9-point. Fairly early advantage here with just one man back versus two. I think that Alf is on the bottom of the screen. Slightly 3-2. So with the race, he will do this and step up. Try to see daylight. That looked like an illegal play. I think he played 2-2s. There we go. Would have liked to have hit. Just plays it quietly. So fairly calm game to start off with, especially if black can come around the corner here. A nice early. Can we hit? No hit. So pretty standard holding game to start off with. I will keep the live chat open in case there's anyone watching with questions. But yeah, I played Peter last year in the final of the Fighters in Stockholm, so very, very strong player. Will be interesting to see how Alf does. It's a very quiet play. And this is just a case of who will roll the first double. So probably we'll just slot both points. He chooses to make it. There's just not really much need to make it. You're never going to get a shot in the next roll. So we may as well just make our points in order, but he chooses to make it. But it's never going to be a big difference in this situation. Not sure what's going on with the clock. Okay. So we're just going to keep slotting points. Just continuing to slot points. I think the 6-2 was legal. I assume they're checking. And 4-1. So yeah, Belgium against the Netherlands. I think there's quite a healthy, but yeah, home tournament for Peter from the Netherlands here. The other semi-final is, might have to remind myself, it's Michel Lamotte against Bernd Schaefer. So again, not too familiar with Bernd's name. Obviously, Michel Lamotte, most people will know. So certainly on probability is that it will be a Peter versus Michelle final, but this is backgammon. It's very close, so it's slightly better to clear the 9. My usual tendency is to just keep the landing spots. I suppose the only reason you'd regret keeping the 9 is you could roll 6-2 next time, and then you get gaps and it gets awkward. So clearing the 9 just sort of avoids that scenario. Six. There it is. I assume this is right, but what's the rate? Yeah, he's up 5 pips. No. So not enough of a race lead. It just takes too much pressure off of White's position. Feels right, but 5 pips, not quite enough. Just makes life a little too easy for White here. Hello, Aaron. Aaron in the chat of Open Gammon. So yeah, he plays both in with the 4-1. Just it's a very close race, so you might as well take the crossover. Not too much risk, just 6-1 and 6-2. Okay. So we have the good fortune of having the XG stream, so we can see the pip count at 666, and it's probably game over unless we see like 4-4, 5-5, 5-1. Yeah, so 1-0 lead for Alf. It'll be interesting to see the clock management. I think Peter maybe a player likely to use a lot of his clock. Alf has already used over 2 minutes in that game, and there wasn't really too much going on. So we'll see how that develops. Of course, I can't really talk about clock management. I regularly go down to my last few seconds. So it would be hypocritical to talk about it. So 2-1 will hit, 3-2 hits back. So he's going to hit back with almost anything, 5-3. So both players just fighting for Black's 5 point here. Many numbers hit back here, but 3-6 does not, jumps out. Not really much else to do. You could go to the 18 because that kind of dupes 1s and 6s by 3. So the 3 definitely wants to make the 5, and then you may as well remake the 8 point. So 6-5, you can run all the way, but you could also reveals all, but it is close, and it felt like it was a tough decision. So yeah, White has a big race lead after the move, which would suggest you run, but you're going to get hit so many times here. It does get missed. Okay. Yeah, 6-5 was very interesting. So will we just slot the 4 point here? Or even like 13-7, 6-5 maybe? I don't know. But yeah, we see that everything is fairly close. Can't really give away too much equity here. Yeah, okay. So this was sort of what I was leaning towards. But he could have duplicated aces, so I think it was slightly better to at least, yeah, there's not, but definitely I think we'll stay on the 20 point. Just for numbers like, 6-2, where Black would love to make White would love to make the 4-point. You can just keep some presence there, so you at least get a direct shot. Okay. Yeah. So don't touch the back checker. So the best option is just to break the midpoint, because you're not really benefiting that much from it. This is just slightly awkward. You're very front loaded. Wow. Okay, double free. So it's probably game over. Even like 4-3, he's going to be down so much in the race. 4-6. Could this be too good? So he just instantly cubes. But yeah, it's slightly too good. There's just not really that many sequences here where black can regain their market. And there are gammons. But yeah, there's just not too many bad numbers here. And there were gammons, so he had the option. Okay, 4-2. 5 makes the 3-point. 6. Yeah, splitting down. Basically anything other than making the 2-point here. Just because you have, okay. Yeah, so you have the more of a priming structure. You have the 4-point made, your opponent has the 3, and you have the race lead. So yeah, it seemed like the 2-point wasn't really the right direction, because you're sort of playing into your opponent's game plan almost of, they have a more blitzy position. So will we see something like 2 down here? Yep. So our opponent, so white has 10 checkers in the zone, and they have this like Swiss cheese blitzy position. Okay, so he's done the sort of human play. Black has the priming advantage, so you play 2 down so that you have more builders. You're going to play into your priming plan more often. This just leaves us a little bit awkward. Not too many good numbers. 3-1. So now Peter's got a really big advantage. A bad roll here could be a cube. It will be interesting to see. Now black has this like gap on the 5. They have a dilly builder on the 3-point, and white has the bar block. So I mean, probably a big reason why it's already a pass is just that look at how black 6s play in general. It's just going to get really awkward really quickly. But it feels like black has chances here, because both guys are back on the 24-point. Both have some sort of primary structure. It's just slightly too much, probably, with the extra shot. But double free is a big roll. The bar there. So a 6. Of course, he hops out. I don't think you would play 13-7. I mean, you do put pressure on black here. So the thing he's thinking about is that black is very stripped. They don't really have much play. They have to break the mid and leave indirects, or they hop out and leave shots. But yeah, just slightly too much. Play 6-3, even though it looks incredibly ugly. But he couldn't bring himself to make such an ugly play. So he does get the hit. Could be gammonish. His whole game plan is essentially contain those 2 white checkers on his 24 point and just don't crunch. That's the whole mission. So he needs to be able to spring out back checkers when he gets the chance. Wow. And his take is now looking very nice. So I guess he's considering just coming out with all of them. But his race lead isn't, if the pips are accurate, it's only going to be like 7 pips. So white has a lot of, well, not a lot, but you know, they're back on the 23, but it's only 7 pips. So, you know, you're going to control the entire outfield after the hit. So I don't think he should be 2K. So he does do this. Wow, and Peter can't safety it. So is this already a recube? Because, you know, the race is close, but he does have shots. Yeah. So he should recube. And I predict we'll see a take, but he is the stronger player. Maybe he doesn't like the volatility, and he does pass it. Okay. So there may be an element of adjustment there. You know, he just doesn't want to get the cube on 4 if he feels he's the stronger player. But at the same time, you know, you're stuck on the 23 point. The race is close, but how likely are you really to 17 point? So it's slightly awkward. Okay. So already we see like blitzy structure versus a primary structure, but that's equalized it. 6-3. So I assume he'll just run all the way. He's up in the race and not really too much else to do. I don't want to stay on the 18. Seems like they're both fairly equal though, and he's up in the race. I think I would run. I mean, this does look strong, but yeah. So, yeah, I think he will run. I don't know if Peter is the kind of player that keeps like a running count that helps with this kind of thing. Certainly I do when I'm playing, just so I always know the difference to help me with these kinds of plays. Because if he was down 10 pips, this would probably be the right idea. But he isn't. He's up 7. So he should just move his back checkers. 3 point. You've got your opponent glued on the 24 there. So yeah, big improvement here. And that can hit, which it does. So 6s and 4s from the bar will hit back. But not that one. That's a waste of double 6. But it will be a while before we see a cube. Black has the 21 point anchor, so can't actually see the second dice here. So see a 4. What could it be that makes it interesting? So 5-4 he would have already played. I guess 6-4. How would you play 6-4? It's not easy. Double 4. Thank you, Chava. So yeah, I can see why he's taking his time. This isn't that nice. I guess you make the 9 and you probably just make the deuce. Because what else can you really do? Yeah. Yeah, slightly awkward roll. And 3-2. Not much to say, just 8-6. It's the only move. So what's Black hoping for here? Like, how do they play 6-2? You could link up. You could make the free. 3. Yeah, not a great roll. So he's continuing to roll kind of awkwardly. Seems like you have to play 10-8, and he finds this version, so he's duplicating 4s, and at least if he gets hit on the 9, he could make the high anchor. So it seems to make a lot of sense. 6-4. So he will hit, and then it's just how big do you go? Okay, so it looks like 2 down is the option here. I think the consideration was should you come off the anchor, but it's just too much. I think the race is actually still quite close. So in the match, he had 4-2, where he played more conservatively rather than playing 2 down. So this seems like a tendency. He doesn't like the plays with lots of blots. So 9-3 was kind of expected there. Ace-5. So this will just jump out. You can hit, but again, you're up a lot in the race. So we're just playing into our game plan here of running. Much too big a swing to give the extra blot sent back. But he does choose to hit. Correctly. It's double 2 on the one ply rollout. Yeah, so not a cube. There's just way too much work to do. You have 2 back checkers still to get past good structure, and Black has this anchor. So, like, regardless of your big race lead, there's way too much play for Black. And double 1 is pretty bad. So he does lift. He's up a lot in the race. He doesn't really want to get hit. And then you could play like 8-6 and step up. Yeah, this looks quite nice. This looks nice. Usually you don't like going to the 23 because it blocks your 6s, but he has this run. So you could make the 3-point, but I think the priority is just to get out of your back checkers. And 3-5 does enter, but it's not good. So I assume you just have to play to the ace point. You don't like it, but not much choice. And now Peter thinks. So he's up 28 pips. He has pointing rolls. And the other element of this is like Black has this open 4-point. White can survive if they're hit here. So he quickly finds the loose hit with the 3, and then it's should I step out or just make it? But I assume you just make it. Again, you're not out to the 18. I assume. You don't want to make your board even weaker by playing 8-2, because then you're just going to get hit loose on the ace point. So 2-3 will hit. Safety's up. And double 1 is pretty awkward. So you can do this, but then what's the last one? But I think he has to hit, doesn't he? Because White has 3 blots that he can still pick up. Okay, but this is a loose. That's it. Ace deuce. So he will just cover. And another big roll coming up. Dances. Wow. So after 5-6, it was looking very comfortable, but ace deuce was massive. And now it's even a pass at this leading score, despite being a recube. Just way too many good rolls here, 4s, 2s, and 3s. But yeah, he must hit loose. It's punished really for not cashing with the recube, but quite natural if you're leading and it's a recube to not want to get it on 4. So 4-6 was horrible, but this is still quite a lot of shots. Double 2. And he just remakes the 8 point. So lots of swings in this game so far. Double 2. 3-1. So it's looking very gammonish. And double 5. Probably want to play 8-3, get off of the double 4, and give yourself more builders for the ace point. Yep. If he has to, but he'd love to just make it, and he does. So there's quite a lot of gammons here. 6-1. Seems like them just talking with the transcriber. That may have been my fault for saying freeze. I don't know. I think he can hear me. So 2-5. Yeah. So this is just a question of, can black save the gammon? It's very unlikely that they're going to win this game from here. He might hit a shot, but look at his board. He's got gaps on 5. He's got so much work to do after that. So I think we'll just see him play 6-2. The gammon is basically locked if he just wins the game. Yeah. So this is like, I feel like this is what you do if you're trying to push the game. So we do have some bad numbers now. That is not one of them. So double 6. Black probably wants to dance, but there are backgammons if he does. So yeah, there we go. Comes in. Still possible, but looking very unlikely. So I guess he'll play to there, yeah. E6 and that. No, it's still possible, but need a couple 2-1s and that is it. So no backgammon. It's going to be a 5-3 lead for Peter. Okay. Maybe I misread it. I thought it was 5-3. There we go. So yeah, we've already seen like a couple tendencies. So Alf is, if he can, he'll play with less blots in the position, and Peter's had a couple moves where like he's had the lead in the pip count, but he's sort of gone ample. The 2-1 will split. 6-3 hits. So he's got 2s hitting back. Before you roll, sort of, what do I want to roll? What do I want to, which checkers do I want to move? 2-4 makes the 9, very nice. So an early advantage for white here. They've got an extra point. They've only got 2 guys back versus 3. But 4-3 is very strong, so it just makes the 20. Six one makes the bar. 5-2 not so much. I guess you just run from the back, but you do come out. Yeah. So white's midpoint is strips, and it is a 4 prime. So you're stripping your own mid. If he still ends up getting hit, 4-2 hits back. So aces will hit, deuces will definitely play 6-4, but 6-1 is kind of forced. Jumps out. Nice roll. 5-4 would be nice. 3-1 hits. So he'll want to hop out with almost anything that he can. 5s and 6s. Play quite pure. Like slot your 5 point. And so 6-4 is quite nice. He can play link up to the 12 point here, which I think is what he'll do. Six four. So should he run, or does he just play? Okay, makes the deuce. You're not really playing a blitzing game. So the 2 point is too deep. And it's only a 15 it's only a 15 pip racing lead. So this double anchor is a little too much now. So he could have just jumped out for 1. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this play. It looks very natural. You're already up a lot in the race, but he does find it. So, ultimately, black has these 2 stripped points at the front. He doesn't really have a lot of timing, so you're actually making his timing a little worse here by hitting them. Doesn't really have a lot to play with at the front, so he must come out, of course. But now it's much easier to just the game plan here is that you have 5 checkers behind quite good structure. So you just don't want to blitz. You don't want to make deep points. You don't want to hit deep in your board. But now is this black's 5-1. He's kind of forced to hit now. Must enter high. You don't have the timing to make the ace point. We need to keep our checkers mobile. So getting up to the edge is very important. Even if you play 6-5, the important thing is just enter high. But he does do this, and it is understandable. But you've kind of created this situation by making deep points. You can't really play a pure priming game anymore, which is what he's trying to do with 6-5 and attack and try and put them on the bar. So he will jump out if he can. 3-6 he gets to. I mean, you're leaving so many shots for 8-2. Traditionally, usually you're going to wait until you have 3 points to clear against a back game. But look at black's front position again. I know I've mentioned this like 10 times already, but he has the 2 point made, so white can already double because black's front position is just not in a good shape for the kind of game we're in. again, like look at the gaps in Black's board. They're virtually on the edge of crunching here. I mean, he could be playing on too good. He might be. But I assume he's not, given he didn't cube, and I would have expected him to cube in the previous throw. But yeah, the important thing here is the 2 point. So if Black had the 4 point here, you know, if you shifted that 2 point to the 4 point, it certainly could be a take. But you know, if Black does end up hitting a shot here, he's so much work to do to contain them, because he has all of these gaps in his board. Peter is thinking. Probably just running through, you know, Black's rolls. Certainly, the longer he thinks, we could see a take, you know, just based on the fact that he's thought about this for a long time. Don't think we've seen too many cube actions to get a read, though. I'm not sure what our... Okay, so he chooses to roll. Again, I don't think he's playing too... I mean, he could be playing too good, but it's a little... This looks fine. You just keep the board. Can't really go too wrong. You just don't really want to break the structure, especially with the cube position. You know, you just can't really go too badly. Yeah. Suppose I don't really see. Well, I guess you could make the free and then play down, but you know, keeping all of the structure seems, but 3-5. So do you hit? Again, the cube position is kind of weird here, because Black can't really win. So this probably just loses less gammons. Yeah, and from the analysis, so you win more when you hit, but you lose 9% more gammons, and you just can't win if you hit, because your opponent's just going to cash. So yeah. But all of a sudden, Black, you know, double 5 was a pretty big roll for White, so Black does have a chance. So apparently the computer wants to play 3-1. I couldn't do that personally. I think just playing like 8-7, 8-6 is fine. We have some love for Alf in the chat. I think he's played like 5-3. A candidate here. You know, we're in a back game. I don't really want to make the ace point. I don't feel like we're going to get a shot. So yeah, I would not make the ace. He does this. Okay. Again, he's just rolling on. I think now he will be playing on too good. You know, Black's board is spare checkers from the back and make your 6 point. Double 2 clears 2 points, pretty strong. Yeah, and we saw in the analysis, a 6-2 was such a strong roll that playing on 2 good just wasn't an option anymore. Don't think he was playing on 2 good. Okay. So 6-3 for Peter. Pretty interesting game. Yeah, so he's trailing in the match, so he plays 4-3, makes the bar. Not really what he had in mind when he played 2 down, but he'll take it. Double 5 is good for the race, 9 stacks. So probably won't see any swing structure. So is this just making the deuce? Or is it running? Yeah. Okay, yeah. The running's close, but again, you're down in the race. Your opponent has this blitzing structure. They have 10 checkers in the zone. So just avoiding playing into their game plan was an option there. Playing 2 down. And double 5, wow. So certainly making the ace point and then just thinking about the last 5. And it does want to jump out. Yeah, this is the other option. But lots of returns now on the 5. White is very happy to hit loose. But they get to remake. I think we're just quick pip count from Peter here, I think is what he's doing. There we go. Okay, so he finds the top play. Nice. Wasn't immediately clear to me. Lots of candidates. I think let's hit first and then we'll consider the cube. Or just run, which he will. He's down in the race, but only slightly and doesn't want to get pointed on or attacked. So I think we'll see him. Maybe just a quick pip count here is just making sure he's not down by a lot. But yeah, he's only down by about 3 pips. So perfectly fine to just get out of there. Double 1, not good for the race, but good for your distribution. And it's going to be very close. Peter is 5 away, a little bit shy with the cube. Winning 1 point is perfectly fine. Winning 2 doesn't really gain him that much here. He would get to 3 away rather than 4 away. So if anyone is very nice, I think that was 5-4. And double 4, so he's going to be up. But probably no cube coming unless we see like 2-1 and then maybe, but 3 fills in the 4, of course. So it is just a race, but there's a pretty big swing available. You know, it could be 5-6 or it could be 8-3. You know, it's quite a lot riding on this short race here. It's already kind of close, but 4 crossovers is very nice. Double 2 straight back, 6-4. So only 2 pips ahead. 5-1. It does feel like we're just waiting for one person to roll a big set here. The race is so close, it's swinging back and forth every roll. But that is not what he was looking for. Okay. But he does not plan on missing. So 6-5. I think that was 3-1, not great. So that could be a cube. So how many checkers have they both got? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. So black has 2 more checkers off. Is that right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, black has 2 more checkers off. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I just can't count. So both have 5 checkers off. Both have 10 left. It's a 4 pip lead. So, and he does find it. Good. I predict we'll see a take here. It's only 4 pips. Don't know if he. But again, pretty big swing here. It could either be 5-6 or 8-3. So we have quite an important race here. Give the dice a good shake. 3-1 again. He's had a couple of these now. A couple 3-1s and a 2-1. 6-3. I think we're quite unlikely to see any re-cubes. 4-4. Okay. So this needs to be a very good roll. Very unfortunate for Alf, because there was a lot riding on that race in terms of, the match winning chances, and I think he had 4 or at least 4, maybe 5 rolls where he rolled 4 or less. So very unfortunate there. Of you. There we go. So an 8-3 lead for Peter. So we're going to see so 6-1. 6-1 back. So early advantage for Alf. The 4-5 is nice. 2 makes the 5. 4-3 will point on the 4. But 5-4 wouldn't point on the 3. But yeah, so like we were saying, Alf is trailing 8-3. He's got his opponent on the bar. He has a stronger board. So you just cube, you're okay. So big market loss there, and potentially a big swing in the match just off of one cube decision. But yeah, start of every match, you should know the score, and you could sort of consciously be aware of how it's going to affect your decisions. And maybe if Alf had considered that, he would have found the double. But as it is, he still gains a point. He's getting closer. 5-5. Certainly he will cube if there's a dance here. And yeah, I was just about to say, it's that the 5-5 blitz, if it's one of the really sensitive scores like 4 away, 3 away, 4 away, 3 away, 2 away, they are passes. So this is 4-0 to 7 effectively. And you can see it's already nearly. But that is such a big roll. Wow. double fours. Huge swing in the match. So double four, double two. So let's see how it plays out. No real need to move the back checkers just yet. You could go all in here, just try and get the closeout. You know, white has no front position, so you're not really worried about your back checkers getting stuck. So he can just bring ammo down. So Peter is praying for like 6-1 or anything that can't hit, and he could get an anchor. Six, so just play down to the 7 point. Yeah, more ammo in case he comes in on the deuce. Yeah, very unfortunate for Peter there because he found a very good take. You know, at this score would have been perfectly reasonable. 5-2. Still some life, you know, there's a 2-1 in there somewhere. Not everything will hit. This does. I won't say it, but we're all thinking it. No, that's probably the game. Probably this specific game anyway. But double two was a real monster there. If it had come up. 5, yeah. In these kind of situations, you're just always thinking about which big doubles could hurt you. So double four here is fine. Still plays. And your double six is fine. That's all you're really worried about. The gammon is assured as long as you don't leave a shot point. He can avoid double six, but he played off the mid first, but doesn't happen. But yeah, certainly, you know, you should be careful in these spots because you're just cruising home. But as it stands, it's looking very good for Alf. And we could see a 3-point match. But Peter will have to dance, but it's definitely doable, definitely possible. And that is pretty much it. And he even enters. Okay. So, yeah, no chance of saving that one anymore. So it is 8-all. Unfortunate again for Peter there. And yeah, we have a 3-point match for the final. I don't know what the status is of the other match between Michelle and Bernd. So 6-5 runs. Feels like we've seen quite a few 6-5s. 5-2. I think this, which he does. Makes the 5. So certainly a small edge, an edge here for Peter. But this can make the 11 and split. 5-3. So I assume he'll stack of checkers on the midpoint. 4-3. So this will hit and then just step up to the 21. You're duping 4s. And it's already close to a cube. Definitely in a 3-point match, you're more aggressive than you would normally be. So he's right to take a moment, but correctly plays on. And this will, and that's not so great. So he'll come out to the 16 to duplicate 4s. Also, there's just not really much else you can do. Everything else is stripped. And yeah, the cube comes flying. But black has made their 11. It's not like they've made 0 progress. And the 4s are duped to hit. He does have 3s as well as 2s to cover. But he correctly takes. Great take. 3-5. You have the choice to come out. Brings more ammo down instead. E5 again. Not really what he was looking for. Of course, he's happy not to dance, but would have loved a 4 or a deuce. At least he tidies up a block. Wow, 5-5. So that will make the 3-point for sure, and he swings around the corner first. Yeah. And what a big swing we have here. So 2s, he's very happy with. 4s, he'll very happy with. But both, wow. Huge roll. Wow, big swing. I mean, now it's like almost, well, white is probably like 60-40 here. Could have been gammon for the match on a dance. A massive roll there. I don't think he'll hit. Yeah. So the best play there is just to play 11-8. You're outboarded and, don't really want to risk another guy getting sent back for gammons there, but I think we will see a hit now. Okay, 1-1. Should you hit? Yeah, this is very natural. It was the last guy back, and you are down like 20 pips. So, be interesting to see what the right result was there. Yeah, so slightly better to hit just because you're down so much in the race, and it's the last checker back, and unfortunately, essentially. So 5-4, a little awkward. Not a terrible position for Alfia though, by any means. Yes, the race is bad, but there's 2-2 is nice. Yeah, so he instantly realized that he doesn't want to make the 9 or the bar. They're just points that he would have to clear later, and he sort of instantly played down, didn't even have to think about it. Yeah, he's just making sure it makes sense in his head. Yeah, because this is, I feel, what he's kind of instantly had ruled out. Okay, so he does make it. But yeah, this the 9-point is essentially now his hardest point to clear that he's just created. 6-4. Yeah, and now he's really confused because he's just made the 9-point. He's just chosen to make it. And now he's realizing that he's instantly going to clear it. But yeah, he does find it, which is good. Feel like you have to go with what you previously did and just keep it. But Peter's a very strong player. I don't think he's going to be affected by his previous move. He's just going to realize that it's a point to be cleared. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So still lots of hope for Alfia. Shouldn't have spoke, but 4-4 isn't quite as good as it looks. Some shots later. But oh. Sorry, just had a bit of a lag there for a second. problematic here. 6-4 and 5-4 in particular, but 5-3. Basically what he was hoping for. Now he can clear it on his next go. 3-4. Racing for the big moment. Could be coming. 5 deuce. Yeah. Keep the 6 prime. You could get a shot right now. And there it is. Wow. There it is. Can he get the 4? Oh. Not sure what's going on. Okay, here we go. No 4. Big sigh of relief for Peter there, but it's not over. But he survives this roll. But definitely not over yet. 6-5. I think probably you're not going to lose any gammons. So, oh, no. Okay, so he did not need to break the board there. If Peter had left a shot, it wouldn't have been game over if he'd hit it, because he chose to break the board. But double 1, suddenly there is a chance for a gammon, so you might as well go for it, because it's still a very safe position, so you may as well. But he comes in, yep. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's going to be 10-8 Crawford for a spot in the final. Looks like the other matches at the last update may have changed since. But yeah, this one looks like it could be going down to the wire. Although certainly not over. I think it might still be possible. That looked like it could have been double 6. Not quite. The ball is going to have to be pretty good. No. Okay. The 10-8 Crawford. Peter survived some late scares there. Had to leave a shot, got missed. I want to correct the scoreboard. Maybe Chabba will hear me and they can fix that. But for now, it is 10-8 Crawford. There we go. So lots of good rolls here. But double 6. Really, I mean, it's good for the race, but not really what he was hoping for. You know, Black has this kind of, again, he has like a priming structure. So double 6 is almost playing into his plan, but he does hit. So he's instantly looking to play this forward. Leaves a flexible position. But 4-3 just anchors up. Pretty nice. And now the pressure is on Black here to roll something good. You know, White's not worried about leaving that block, considering lots of 5s were duped there. Is that a 5-1? Probably will just make the 20. You could come in and slot the 5, I suppose. But slotting isn't quite as strong as it would be against 2 checkers. But, you know, his time management has been good. He's the other semi-final. You can see in the camera of the players. A little hard for me to see on my Okay, so he settles on the 20 point. Yeah, just makes sense. It's a better anchor. Stops black priming you in more if he can make it. 5-2. Still 6-5. Okay, so that. So it looks like he can just make the 11 and then step up. Don't think hitting makes any sense when you're up so much in the race. You know, you're just hoping to jump out. It is close though, but slightly better to just. Do you have to give up the 20 just so that you can? No, I'm miles off. Yeah, so he's instantly ruled out jumping off the 20. So you kind of have to play the 6 there. And now, how pure do you want to be? It's actually close to just make the loose hit from 7 to 3. So 5-1 jumps out. 6-4 again. So probably not going to touch the back checker. So he goes for the flexible option. But 13-8 is best. So white would really love like a 5 if they could jump out, but he'll take a 3. Very close to just play something like 8-4-6-3. But it's not clear, you know, because your gammon losses don't matter. Usually, especially with your front position looking so fragile, you would just make the same. His gammon losses aren't really important here. So he's chosen this version because he knows the gammons don't matter, so staying back is probably reasonable. And now 2-3. 11, but when white has these 2 blots in their board, is this really right? Certainly, the advantage is you've got rid of the goalkeeper a lot of the time on the ace point. Great play from Alf. Now 6-1. I think he will just play this quietly. Could make the ace. Looks a little awkward, but it's perfectly fine. 3-1. Peter's probably confused at how he still hasn't managed to get any of those back checkers out. But he's managed to keep his board just about, but it's very, very close to breaking. Which is, it takes so much pressure off of Alf. Okay, he even gets a double 4. So should he jump out or just make the board? What's the race? If the race is that close, I'm really not clear to me. Yeah, so this feels very natural. It's only trailing by 6 pips. I think this is what I would go with, kind of reluctantly, because, you know, black is fairly stripped. Yeah, no, I think this is what he'll settle on, but it looks suspect, especially when you can do this. And now, how do black's rolls play? That's the big thing. Okay, so he goes with this. Quite good in this specific situation. Because black just held the structure, could have made white crunch, but he came out. Board. E2, so that will just clear the 10. So Alf is probably not a fan of this, so he's trying to save fives by keeping fives to play in his board, but you still have one if you play off the 6. But the race is quite close, so this is maybe not going to be good later on. So I think after this move, the race is like dead even. So he wants to keep the 11. You don't want to just let black come out with 6-4, 6-5, 5-4 and have no consequence. So yeah. Kind of a classic pay now decision where you can kind of imagine that black's just going to get stronger and white's board will get weaker. So you may as well go now. 5-1. So we'll just clear the... Well, if you clear the 8, you keep board strength, but if you clear the 7, that's way better analysis because they both make a lot of sense. But he's annoyed now that he didn't do the other one because white got out. The whole reason for breaking the 8 was in case white didn't get out. 6-2. So this looks very close. Probably Peter's a slight favorite with the wastage, but black is on roll. 2-2. And it's getting pretty close. So again, this is the semi-final. This is for a spot in the finals. Michelle and Bernd are still playing in the background. Wow, 5-5. Huge roll. So we're going to have to see something pretty good. 5-4, not quite what he was after. 4-4, okay. So we're going to have to see some sets here. Okay, that's a start. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls against 4 rolls. But a big favourite for Peter. Not all the sets work for black. 4-3. So it's all down to this. 5-1. Can Alf do it? Can we get to DMP? Oh, that looked like a double 3. Not quite. Will he get a chance? He does get a chance. Advances to the main final. We don't know his opponent yet. It looks like maybe a 10-5 lead for Bernd against Michelle Lamotte. But tune in at, let me get the timings for you. The final is scheduled for 3 p.m. Central. Tune in. Thanks a lot for having me and enjoy.